Welcome to the Forever Classic Podcast, the show seeking enlightenment through video games, film, and other geek culture. I'm Zach. And of course, as always... Yeah, that's Alex.
I'm Alex.
It's really, really, really fucking hot in this room. It's every bit of like 90 degrees.
Yeah, I'm slowly regretting my decision of just not opening up a window, and I might even do that here in a second because I've got lights on and it's toasty.
Yeah, I might end up doing the same. But I had a piece of chocolate that I set on the desk, and by the time I opened the chocolate, it was melty.
Oh no!
It was real sad.
Turns into portable chocolate soup. Delicious.
It was one of those Lent truffles, but it was like a like an 80% cocoa one.
Yeah.
So it had more of that bitter than sweet.
I love those.
Yes.
I love dark chocolate, man. So, how's it been?
Hot.
We're
and
in
busy.
week something of quarantine.
I don't know. I've been quarantined this whole time. What are you talking about?
I have. The weather finally turned here in Alaska, so it's actually nice and pretty. So occasionally I'll go sit on my porch and go, That's it. No, I'm real itching to clean up the charcoal grill and then fry up a couple steaks or something. But I'm waiting like a snake in the grass. Nah, I'm still taking it pretty seriously. I don't know about you, but whenever we go to the store, we wear masks. We have gloves. And usually I don't go because I have asthma. And it could very well kill my ass. So I stay home.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
But I've been keeping myself entertained with plenty of films, games, and other geek culture. Except for comics. I don't touch comics very often.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of comics. I read a lot of manga.
I did for a while, but I kind of got bored of it. So we watched a bunch of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, finished that, and we're now into Bleach because I was like, I need a dumb shonen with a bunch of fun characters that I can just put on of the evenings. And so that's what I picked. And so me and Kim have been having some fun with it. We're really into most of the main cast. And I think Chad is a standout. Sato is pretty great.
Yeah.
And we just got to a little bit past the Waco Mundo arc. We're still technically in Waco Mundo, but Bleach is a mess, man. They put 40 episodes of filler in there, and then sometimes they just repeat the contents for an episode. It's very strange. We're all the time skipping forward ahead of stuff. It's one of the most poorly edited shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it needs some work, and it's pacing the first season where they do the whole Soul Society thing, really
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah,
The rest
really
of it, really bad.
Really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad, a mess. It seems really scattered all the way, even in the manga, because I went back and read a bunch of it to see the difference, all the way until you get to the end. Do you know about the end of it?
No, I just know that they finished it because it was kind of rushed. Because Kaitubo, there's a whole great documentary that Super Eye Patch Wolf did on it called The Fall of Bleach that I highly recommend. And so that's my knowledge of the final act.
Yeah. So all the crazy stuff with the big Quincy dude and everybody and their brother dying or being brought back to life. All of that actually goes pretty well. There's some
okay.
There's a little bit of jarring pacing in the manga for it. Mm-hmm. It'll just pace and then tangent and whatever it was doing just kind of stops and it'll be oh yeah, that was resolved, or oh yeah, they were just fighting over there. It kind of leaves
seems
you with...
anytime Bleach gets exciting, they cut off to some random thing. It's no, go back to that.
Well, in fairness, it's so hard because, and it was really hard to keep up with because they ran through every show character. If you were a main character or supporting character, you got time in the end of the manga stuff. But the problem was there's so many that by the time you're 50 chapters into the end of it, you're is this still in the same hour and a half of what was going on earlier, or are we into the next day?
Concept of time is completely gone.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely gone. It's Dragon Ball level of concept of time being fucked up. But it ends really nicely, except for the very end is Okay, cool, it's done, and that your kid says that can't happen. Okay, weird. Fuck it. And there's just nothing else. It just stops.
Bleach was such a good manga. I remember reading it as a kid and getting up to like the holification stuff. And like at that point in the anime, they just stop and do this whole like vampire thing. And so we skipped that while we were watching it because like I knew. I'm like, this bullshit is coming and I don't want to watch it. And then we get to the first episode of they like where things continue normally and they start talking about the shit that happened in the filler arc. And I'm like, hold a minute. And then like there's characters that they just invented in the bounce season, and they're just characters from here on out. There's like 3 mod souls, and then Ichigo like has flashbacks to fighting with like the big bad of the bounce season, and I'm like, no, get that out of here.
Yeah, if you all are already through the representative Shinigami second shittery, where they're talking about the old one.
Yeah, so there was a flashback with all the like Vizards as Soul Reapers, and so that happened.
No,
and
I'm talking about the Shinigami before Ichigo.
Maybe
the one that was
maybe not.
He was a representative, like a human that was able to get the power. Previous to him.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think we've got that far. It's like the part where they circle Aizen and them and fire. We're in that like 60 episode span. And so in that fight, the Visor just showed up. That's where we're at. Bleach is weird, man. I keep calling the espadas empanadas because I think it's hilarious.
Oh, man.
And Kim gets real confused. She's like, yeah, the empadas or whatever. And I'm like, they're called espadas. Then why do you call them empanadas? Because I think it's fun. I gotta hand it to him, though, man. The Bleach soundtrack, not only the openings and endings, but like just the music that plays in the background is all really, really good. Yeah. And it's so funny because when things get serious, like Spanish guitar intensifies. It's so good. I love the soundtrack a lot. I think it's really well done.
Yeah, in that whole arc for his Hueco Mundo stuff, like I was really, really surprised because of how good the guitar stuff would come up and how smooth it was. It wasn't like a jarring thing. It was just like smoothed in and creeped in. So like you just noticed, you were like, oh shit, music. There's music. Not just like, oh, the music started. Like it's like, oh.
And like, there's one track that sounds very similar to The Metal by Tenacious D, and every time it happens, I'm just like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, see, I
tried to destroy the metal.
I just hear it pop up, and then I'm like, oh, Antonio Banderas lines, or
something. It's fun. It's stupid, but you know, it's not nearly as fun and stupid as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because that show is just unpredictable through the entire thing. But like Bleach has been something dumb and just like ongoing that I find myself really eager to get to it of the evenings. And we'll watch like 8 or 9 episodes in the span of an hour because you can just skip through like 90% of it.
True. I feel the same way, but about Toriko.
Oh, see, I watched the first like 50 of Toriko. That show's really fun. The first like 50 or so are really interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I watched all of it and I read all of it because I don't think that they finished the anime, but they did finish the manga.
And Bleach, they are doing a new anime, which is kind of why I wanted to watch this because by the time we get to the end, maybe the new anime will have started.
Oh,
and that's kind of like an Inuyasha situation.
Are they rebooting or are they like doing a weird continuation into actually finishing it?
I think they're going to do that. They're going to animate the like acts that they haven't currently.
Okay, well, I mean, that'd be good. People will watch it or buy it as a whole collection at this point, because all those people who watched it now have jobs and can buy it.
That's true. Anime's in an interesting place. Like, a lot of things are getting delayed. They just started a reboot of the Digimon adventure, which is really weird, because they, like, tie in plot lines from the films and just, like, kind of do that differently. And so that's on hiatus now because of all the coronavirus stuff. And that's the case with a lot of these shows. Like, I think Black Clover just went on hiatus as well. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, Black Clover
was real weird. The thing that I'm hoping it doesn't...
leading up to this hiatus, because I've been reading it. So the reading, it's been really kind of jarring. Like, they've been rushing what they've been putting out, and it's not been smooth chapter to chapter. So I've been real lost everything that I've been reading.
Now, are you primarily using third-party apps, or are you going through like the Shonen Jump apps?
Whatever I can find it on. If I can get it on Shonen
Okay.
Jump, I'm gonna read it there. If not, then I'll find
If
it
you
wherever.
have the Shonen Jump app, you should definitely check out Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is fucking cool.
It's super weird, and I could not get into it after like
Really?
25 chapters or 30 chapters. I just was like, maybe
There's
later.
some stuff that's pretty gross, but like I really like that character, and like some of the violence that he does is just really fascinating on page. I really hope it gets a good anime adaptation.
That would be really sweet.
But the thing that I'm hoping doesn't get affected by coronavirus is the fourth rebuild of Evangelion film, because we've been building for like probably 10 years or so, and they're really well done in my opinion, and that's some of the like best anime that I know is the Evangelion series, and so I'm hoping that still comes out this summer.
So
and I
is
haven't
this going to
seen
be
or heard anything.
a fourth reboot?
Yes. Yeah, so it's a reboot series. It's always been planned to be 4 films, and we have 1, 2, and 3 available. And they've been available for a long time now. But then the director, Hidetaki Anno, I think his name is, he went and did Shin Godzilla, which was a big passion project. So he basically like dropped everything, I imagine, and went to produce that. Wait, what'd you say?
I said, I'm sure.
Yeah. And so now we're finally coming around. We've got a release date. The first like 10 minutes of or so of the film was released. I didn't watch it because I just want to like be encapsulated by that world, because it's so weird and like cool and out there. So I'm excited for that. I really hope that ends up coming out this summer. And then in September we get another kind of similar thing with Godzilla vs. Kong, and I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, I need to watch them. I didn't watch any of the kaiju movies, so I need to sit down and go through them.
We just got the HBO app that you can do through Hulu, and so that gives us access to King of the Monsters at least, and that's a pretty alright movie. All right. So far, out of the ones you need to watch for the Monsterverse, Kong Skull Island is the best. It's super, super cool.
Right, because that has the same director that was working on the Metal Gear Solid film.
Yeah. Lots of weird little video game references in there because he's a big dork.
Yeah.
So like us.
Speaking
of games, man, what have you been playing?
I've been playing some more Fortnite again, mostly because this season ends June 4th, so I've just been chipping through some of their stretch goal stuff for extra levels.
Seasons are coming and going. Apex Season 5, I think, just started because there's a new character or two.
Yeah, Loba's in it. I just got it downloaded onto things to play a little bit of again, and it's having some sort of rocky start with like bugs and issues.
Ooh. I saw that there was a big aiming issue that I think they patched out.
I'm hoping that they did, because it was rough.
Really?
Yeah, whatever I was trying to do the other night was not happening.
Oh, man. That's funny.
But I've been playing this Akane game on the Switch that's on sale for $1. It's top-down hack and slash, one-hit kill, you or the enemies. It's really interesting and really fast to restart.
Very cyberpunky. I feel like that genre is going to be really popular over the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, no, I think that this is like the rise of that sort of thing. So
I'm kind of into it. Like, I feel like, back in the 80s, cyberpunk was really cool because of, the people speculating what the future could be. And so now it's just like these really imaginatives, like, what else can we do with cyberpunk? And so, especially with the rise of Cyberpunk 2077, really kind of injecting the cyberpunk genre into the just general populace as an idea, that's where things are going to get real crazy, because we're already seeing titles release in that style.
Yeah.
I would pull up some more, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know how I like super double, tripled all of that. Here we go. I was trying to find a trailer for it, but I couldn't find one.
I thought I had a cyberpunky kind of game. I mean, I guess One Step from Eden is kind of in that. It's like a fantasy sci-fi situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we played a little bit of that. So we actually sat down, and so you have the PC version, I have the PC version. I also have the Switch version, which is where I reviewed it for Marooners Rock. But you can't do online multiplayer on it. And so we got around this by doing Steam Remote Play with Friends, which is fantastic. What a cool little system that has been there for a little bit now that I just never touched. And I'm fascinated by how cool it is. So basically what it is Zach was able to stream the game to me, and it was like we were sitting on the same room playing on the same computer. So I took my arcade stick here and just plugged it in, and it was ready to roll. And all I had to do was I adjusted the like game audio down a little bit by like holding a button, and it gave me my own little set of commands. And so you can just play co-op with each other now through the internet. And that's been a thing for a while. Like you could use I think the Hitachi or Hachi servers or whatever they were called to play emulators together.
Yeah.
Or a lot of emulators just have online connectivity built into them now. But we did it through Steam, and that unlocks a lot of possibilities. And like I didn't have to own One Step from Eden. I just happened to. And so that's what makes this really cool is we can play games like I could go buy Streets of Rage 4, which we've talked about doing, I just haven't done it yet, and then load it up and Zach can come join me. That's super cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that you didn't have to have it.
No.
That's pretty spiffy. Yeah, I had no clue.
Mm-hmm. Any sort of co-op game now that doesn't have online co-op, we can buy one copy of if like we don't get it for review or whatever. And that's neat. I think that's really, really neat.
That is really neat, especially for anything that we have to do this with.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And co-op with One Step from Eden was really interesting. So for anybody unaware, this is basically an evolved form of the Mega Man Battle Network series. And so you're on like a grid and you have all these cards and it's a roguelike. You're picking your paths, picking what cards you take. And if you're playing co-op, now we didn't figure out how to make us two different characters. We both had to be the same character. And I don't know if you could do otherwise. But so he would get, normally you have 2 card slots that you can use. And so he got one and I got the other. And it was just, we could do some really cool stuff. We shared a health pool, shared a mana pool. And so that was kind of weird and hard to get used to. And that also means that there are 2 targets that the enemies can hit now and really drain us down quickly. But like you can put out damage fast, especially when you get the thing that like throws out the missiles every time you do a basic attack. And our basic attack was fast anyways with Saffron.
Oh, yeah. You just micro-missiling the whole time. You just hold down attack and move around.
Yeah. That game's neat. I still think that it has a lot of flaws, but even between the time I reviewed it and the time me and you played, it feels like things are being fixed. So that's really cool. That's available on Switch and PC at least. I think it's on the other things as well.
All right, sweet. Yeah, no, I've been digging it so far, except for Shisho.
As a character to play as?
Oh yeah, no, I can't do anything with him. He's too slow.
He's very so slow. And his attacks are based on money. And if you're playing on Switch, that's kind of a hard thing to find because you have to like hover over a very particular icon or hit a very particular button. And it's like not super out in the open. And so I like didn't know that's what he did. So I'm like, why do I attack sometimes and not other times? I don't understand. Cool game. Gameplay wise. Everything else is kind of lacking. But man, gameplay's pretty neat.
Yeah, the gameplay's pretty neat. I mean, it looks very fun for Pixel. It's a lot of stuff happening at once. So you have all of this shit happening very quickly. So you've got to be
very
able to
hard to learn, very hard to master.
Basically, what I boiled everything down to figuring out was I just keep my eyes on my character's feet. You know, I don't look at anything else.
Yeah.
I don't look at anything. I don't even look at who I'm attacking. I just throw shit in the general vicinity that I see a blob in my peripheral. Yeah.
So this is only on PC and Switch. I imagine they'll probably put together a PS4 and an Xbox version eventually, but for now, those are the 2 platforms.
Yeah, I would imagine for sure.
Well, and that comes from Humble Bundle Publishing and Thomas Moonkang Studios, I think, is the development team. It's only like a few people. Small projects, man. They're cool.
They really are. We'll have to do a Team Hazel next time.
Hazel's neat.
Now that I have her unlocked, we can set up turrets and just go to town.
I have been fascinated here recently with arcade setups. And so I've got this very simple arcade stick. It's the Quanba drone. It's cheap. It's something that I picked up here locally. I can show it on camera for anybody curious. So this thing is PS4, PS3, and by default, it just works on PC for most things. It is a very, very basic stick. It's got a nice form factor to it, actually. Yeah, the Quanba drone, it's like cheap. It's well recommended through various sites that like recommend basic arcade sticks, and you can even take shit out of it and like put Sanwa buttons, which are really, really high quality. And so I haven't done that yet, but I'm just like, I love having an arcade stick and like playing even beat 'em ups or shooters. And so that's what I've been doing a lot in my Steam time. And the new fighting games that I've been playing is a game called Terrordrome, which is a horror fan's dream. It is a fan game that was developed a while back. It's basically like Mortal Kombat 3, but you have all these horror icons. You have like Michael Myers and Chucky and those types of characters. And it's just really well made.
What was
I
this
don't
called
quite
again?
understand how to play it. Terrordrome.
Terrordrome.
Free to download. I believe there's an online mode, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just cool. But these folks are also making a sequel, so they called that Terrordrome Rise of the Boogeymen. But they're doing another one, and I'll have to look up the name of that sequel. But that sequel is being made like a 3D fighter. And so that one they will be able to sell because they're going to use like cryptids and characters from literature, which are open source. And so that will be kind of cool. So Terrordrome the game, if you look it up on whatever, you'll be able to find it. But I want to find what the name of their Reign of Legends is what it's called. So they're going to have like Sasquatch and that type of thing. I don't think the current builds and stuff that they're showing off with Reign of Legends looks nearly as stylized as their sprite work, because the sprite work is just really excellent. And so I'm into that. But it's a cool little fighting game, man. There's some neat stuff there. The other thing I'm playing is a game called that I only like kept it on my radar because I think it's got a funny name. It's called Them's Fightin' Herds, which used to be a My Little Pony fighting fan game, and then they eventually were like, okay, there's enough good here that we're gonna make it our own. And so they have all these custom, like, there's a cow character, there's a llama. It's really eccentric characters, but it's a super well made fighting game. And like, I don't understand fighting games all that much, but like, I was having fun with it. It's really neat. You have these like ponies and shit fighting each other. Like, it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Them's Fightin' Herds.
That's awkward.
It's
that makes me think of that board card game that we've been playing here off and on when we get the chance with friends in town. Is Unstable Unicorns.
Oh yeah. I don't think there's any relation, but Them's Fightin' Herds is definitely the My Little Pony style. But it's a straight up 2D fighter. And it's going to be involved in EVO Online, which I guess is a news thing. EVO officially announced they're doing an online tournament rather than an in-house tournament. And that's neat. But there's a particular game left off the list this year, and that's Smash Bros. Ultimate. And a lot of people are speculating that it's because their netcode is shit.
Probably.
Yeah. So a lot of the games you see just are ones known for being better online experiences. So those are the ones that made the cut. And I can find that list here in a second.
What
Do you ever watch any EVO? Dude, EVO's hype as hell, man.
Never have.
If you want just like instant gratification, go check out the Dragon Ball Fighters, just any of the finals matches, especially if you can find one with Sonic Fox. That player is incredible.
Really?
For a lot of reasons.
What do they do?
So Sonic Fox is just really good at most fighting games you put in front of him. And mostly they're known for the Dragon Ball Fighters community. They had this beef with a Japanese player named Goichi, I think. There's a whole like rivalry that you can look up. But the thing that's fun about Sonic Fox is he's very openly a furry, he's very openly gay, and he's black. And so he'll go on stage and be like, haha, you all said I couldn't do it, but I'm black, gay, and a furry, and fuck capitalism or something. He's really fun to watch. They're really fun to watch. Man, Sonic Fox is cool. But the Dragon Ball Fighters, any like pro level tournament you watch is like the most high energy shit on the planet. Like, it's really, really fun fighting game content.
Really? What should I watch?
Any of the championship matches. I think if you pull up like a 2017 or a 2018, those would be super fun. And I don't think they've even updated the website quite yet for Evo. Because on their list they have Smash Brothers, and it was my understanding that Smash Brothers was left off.
It's really shit that they're not actually doing it. But yeah, no, the lots and lots of problems with the Smash Brothers internet from anybody that I've ever been friends with who loves to play it, complain about playing online constantly. Right?
So the games that they're officially having on quote-unquote main stage, which will also feature special it'll also feature special exhibitions, so like title matches, just for funsies, and some other stuff. So I imagine they'll have some like documentary-related things. But they're doing Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is excellent, super fun to watch. They're doing Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which is really new player friendly. That's a very interesting fighting game, and I highly recommend anybody that just wants to like dabble in fighting games but not the complexity of them. That's a great place to start.
Yeah.
The new Samurai Showdown, Soul Calibur 6, which is interesting. Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, Tekken 7, and then Under Night In-Birth EXE. I don't even know what the rest of that title is. The other thing, we'll have open tournaments in these games, which include Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, so Mortal Kombat's getting that patch that we talked about last week, Skullgirl Second Encore, and Them's Fighting Herds.
I think this is awesome just an award of him getting awarded. Whoops.
I mean, any speeches you find of Sonic Fox is really, really fun.
I love that he's just bringing his mask.
Technically, we were co-workers a while back because his team or whatever was owned by the same company that owned Twin Galaxies, and so we were kind of co-workers. Never got to talk to them though.
That's funny. That's cool though.
Yeah. Now, one of my editors got to do an interview with him, and that's really neat. Cool interview stuff. At the time, Sonic Fox was known more for Injustice. And so they were climbing the Injustice ladder. And Jesse, the previous editor over at TG, he got his ass handed to him in Injustice. He's like, just teach me how to be at least decent. And then Sonic Fox is like, all right, well, now that you're decent, let me kick the shit out of you. Fun experience, I imagine. But yeah, so I've been playing various games here and there. I just put out a review for Forever Classic for the Switch port of Dungeon of the Endless. Now, this is basically a roguelike dungeon crawling game with a lot of tower defense elements. But the Switch version is not the way to play this. Pick it up on PC, where it's been out for the past 6 years or something. It's been around for a while. Switch version's not great, man. It is rough.
So how did you like it?
I gave it a 4.4, so a lot of inherent flaws. Even if I was playing on PC, I'd probably still put it at average, a 6 or a 7. But it was really funny because Eli's played it, my roommate. And so I was like, I'm playing this Dungeon of the Endless and I don't like it. And he's like, oh, I have that game. Me and Chris used to play co-op. And I'm like, what do you mean co-op? He's like, yeah, there's co-op. And so I flipped open the Switch again, and turns out they just cut that out of the port.
Well, that's gross.
Stuttery and buggy. And I mean, a patch came through while I was reviewing it and made things slightly better. But I wasn't digging the design overall. There's 12 floors or something you have to climb, and all of them take 10 to 30 minutes. And so to do an entire run, it's a 6-hour endeavor or something. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's rough. Not a fan. Probably would still buy it on sale on Steam though. Just to have.
Yeah,
but
I would grab it on Steam to play with you. Wow, it looks massive. That ending picture of the map was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that screen of holy shit. What is all this mess?
Oh god. That must be one of the final floors and zoomed out with a tactical map or something.
I guess, but it's huge.
It's definitely unique. I'll give it that. Really unique game. Not my style, though. Not super into it.
Really?
No, not really. And I did put out a review of Chasm on Forever Classic Games. And so Chasm is a much better experience, but is a lot less unique. It is a very fine Metroidvania. It's super average.
Chasm.
I don't mind it, though. Like I said, there's some things in Chasm that I really enjoyed. Like, there's an arcade mode that you can play where basically every room you enter is randomized, and so you're, like, doing these kind of challenge runs. And I think that's really cool, because at that point you have to, like, really pay attention to what weapons you have. You gotta be really, really careful of getting hit. And so that's, like, super challenging and really fun. But, like, the main game is randomized to a point, but not as much to where each run is going to look drastically different. They basically just... It's like playing hide and seek with the rooms that actually move forward events.
Okay, so you're just constantly going through the same type of motion, but finding that one room that you need to do something in, and then going back and doing it all over again?
Yeah. For whatever reason, I enjoyed playing this with the CRT scan lines, which is why a lot of our screenshots have scan lines in them. So that's something new for me. Usually I don't turn them on, but for whatever reason, I thought it looked nice.
Sometimes, yeah, no. Like, I love stuff that looks grainy, even though it sounds bad.
Yeah.
What is... I'm getting weird feedback from you. There, it stopped. Were you getting the same buzzing, humming thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
My mic was, like, flipping out for some reason.
I thought it was the video and was like,
No, that was me. That was just something going screwy over here. I don't know. That's my luck. I buy like good tech, but all of it just gets kind of funky. And I don't know why that's the case.
Dude, I'm surprised this mic hasn't. It was the $10 Radio Shack Shure 58 knockoff, and it's still doing great.
That sounds fine for a $10 mic.
Right? Sounds really good for a $10 mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just caught a Radio Shack going out of business in that store, and I was like, I'll take that mic.
Right? I talked about Void Bastards last week, I think. Again, that's a game that's ported to the Switch kind of poorly, in my opinion. And again, it was one that I would pick up on Steam just for funsies. There's a lot of like bad Switch ports right now. I don't know what's up with it.
I know. It started off really strong, and it's not been very strong lately.
No. And so we've had some pretty cool reviews here and there. Usually the games that I review on our website have a tendency to be better, but like the past 2 or 3 have been stinkers.
Oh man, I've been I'm working on the One Step to Eden review. I need to write out the actual Animal Crossing review, because I think we've talked about it and I've wrote some stuff about it, but not the review itself.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably worth doing.
Yeah, just have it out there.
You've played enough of it, that's for sure.
That is for sure.
That could be your lead. Hi, I'm Zach, and I spent 400 hours in Animal Crossing. Here's why.
I've spent 400 hours in Animal Crossing, but some of my friends had 400 in the first 2 weeks.
Is that possible?
Probably not. They probably had it early.
How many hours are in a week?
There's 228.
There's 168.
168.
So, haha, impossible. Gotcha.
Really? Oh, yeah, no, 24. I'm counting 48 in my head.
How many hours are in a day?
I don't know. When you only sleep 4 hours, it gets a little confusing.
Yeah, I don't sleep for shit. I slept pretty okay last night. Well, that's because I ate a bunch of sushi and just kind of food coma.
Yeah, last night was probably the best night's sleep I've had in a while.
Yeah, I slept way too long today, but I feel fine.
Got a new mattress, so that's real nice. It's real comfy.
Nice.
It's much softer than what I'm used to. I just super punched the shit out of my mic stand. But
it wasn't super loud.
So I think while I'm getting adjusted to it, I've been just oversleeping. So I keep waking up feeling like crap, and then I don't have any energy all day. I also need to go get my vitamins because I haven't gone out to like GNC because I'm like, that's not that important. But now I'm out.
Oh, yeah. So as far as game news goes, here's some bigger ones. So the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 were announced to be getting a remake.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it comes out on Tony Hawk's birthday. It's in like the first week of September.
Wow. Okay. That's
And initially I'm like, Activision remakes have been okay recently, but like there's usually some bullshit somewhere. But they did say that they are going to have a lot of the original soundtrack, and that's normally not the case whenever you have games that are like using actual music. And so I was really surprised that it's not the entire soundtracks, but it will have most of them. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's really sick. Because you don't really run into that often, so I'm super cool with that.
Now, I don't know if anybody's asked about microtransactions yet, and if they get an answer from Activision, it's probably a lie, because I guarantee that they'll put microtransactions in this, not at launch, 1 to 2 months after launch. Once the positive reviews roll in, that's when they're going to get nasty.
Yeah, it's the Activision way.
Ugh, sucks. Before we get into some of the like larger next-gen stuff, a new Paper Mario was also announced as well.
Really?
Yeah, did you not see this? It was kind of, well, there's a reason for that, because Nintendo just, like, surprise dropped it with a tweet. They didn't even, like, put it in a direct or anything. They just like, here you go. So this is called Paper Mario Origami King, if you want to look up that trailer.
Yes.
I just want you to see it, because seeing it is pretty cool. This is definitely a game that, like, it seems like Nintendo are very good at just making super well-designed visuals. And this was kind of really a selling point of Luigi's Mansion, and that seems to carry over into this. Paper Mario Origami King.
It looks super pretty, and immediately makes me jump back to like Skellboy in my head for our stuff, because can you imagine a Skellboy looking like this?
Yeah, and I did see Sabaku actually like comment on this, and she was saying that, you know, Skellboy is heavily inspired by Paper Mario.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that too.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. So this is all going to be based off a villain that like is an origami character. But like the way the camera's zoomed and stuff, and like all the characters looking how they do, this is definitely a game that I hope is going to break the curse of the last couple Paper Marios, because the last couple have been really bad.
Oh, it sounds
Not
super
unplayable.
cool. Wait, a talkable Babam?
Yeah, man. They had that in the first Paper Mario.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Dude, the Paper Mario games are worth going back to, because they're like an evolution of the Mario RPGs. The ones that I would play is the N64 first one, and then Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door is probably one of the best RPGs, period, on the GameCube.
Huh.
And so, since Thousand Year Door, we've gotten like one on the 3DS and one on the Wii U. And unfortunately, none of them were very good.
Huh. Well, this trailer looked cool as shit.
Did you see that callback there at the end?
What? To the boat?
No, the Metroid. He had a little Samus helmet on there at the end. A little paper mache Samus helmet.
Ooh, what?
It's like the last shot of the trailer.
Oh, I'm not there yet.
Last shot.
Okay, I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, and if you look at it, there's a Donkey Kong head there, too.
Yeah, see that.
And so some people are like, are they going to do Metroid sometime soon? And I've heard rumors for a while now that the Metroid Prime trilogy has been made and just available. They just haven't released it yet.
Interesting.
So they're probably saving it for a rainy day.
Yeah,
if that's the case. I don't know for sure.
I mean, if they are done with it and it's ready to rock, they might as well keep it in the pocket until they're like, all right, We need to buy some
Right?
time for this. We can create a law, drop this, freak everybody out, and then they won't pay attention to this, so we'll buy some extra time, and
Yeah.
then we'll be on with our other projects.
And the other cool thing about this Paper Mario game is that it is coming out soon. It's like September.
Which is awesome.
Actually, I think it may be even the same day as... No, this one's July. July 17th. Something else was coming out that same day, but I don't remember what. Yeah, lots of cool stuff there. Here's a couple shout outs to some things that are coming out soon. We will have an interview here in the next, who knows, but it's coming up soon. I chatted with one of the lead developers of a game called Drake Hollow. And so this is a team out of Boston, and some of them like worked on BioShock Infinite. And their first game was called The Flame and the Flood. But now they're doing a game called Drake Hollow, which is kind of like this village builder kind of thing, where you like fighting monsters, pulling resources, making a little village of these like little plant dudes. And the plant dudes are cute as hell. But like it's a fun little game that's coming to Xbox and PC. And so we had a interview with me and Andrew and that guy. So Andrew from Runners Rock, and then we had Forrest from the Molasses Flood, which is both a terrible event that happened in Boston's history and a game development studio. It's an actual thing that happened. Molasses, like giant molten molasses, ripped through a city and like killed a bunch of people and destroyed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, molasses isn't really something you should fall into.
No, it's like molten lava, essentially, I guess.
Yeah, because it's sticky. It's short of being, molten glass. How that rolls around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta think,
So-
molasses normally is like hard, sticky, and thick until you heat it to pour it on something.
Right.
Oh, these are weird looking plant dudes.
Yeah, they're cute though, right? Look at them. So I've been playing a beta build of this, and this beta build, if you go and sign up on their website, like for their newsletter or whatever, you'll get access to the beta.
Huh.
I feel like it'd be a lot more fun co-op than I was just kind of running through it. But like I was starting to kind of get the hang of it, and it had that like relaxing sort of crafty sort of game that you want. Like it's got that kind of feel.
Okay. No, it looked really cool though.
Here's a game coming out, speaking of Paper Mario, it's coming out to Switch here pretty soon, called Bug Fables. Have you ever heard of this one, man?
Bug Fables?
Bug Fables. It is basically a indie Paper Mario.
Indie Paper Mario.
And they cite like Thousand Year Door as being a huge influence, and this reviewed pretty well. If I'm not mistaken, I saw a lot of people talking about it when it first came out. The music is popping.
It looks very fun. Hey, okay, I hear it now. Yeah.
And surprisingly, I don't think there's an OpenCritic page for it. All right, we'll have to go to Metacritic for this one. Yeah, it scored pretty well. It's got an 8.6 currently on Metacritic.
Okay.
So that one's already available on PC, I think, maybe even the other consoles, but it's coming to Switch here in the next little while. It's like the end of May. Oh, it's okay. This announcement is all the consoles.
Oh, all of them at the same
So-
time. That's pretty sweet.
So PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and that is coming May 28th. Looking forward to that. I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another game that I'll probably end up buying on PC. But what is the name? The 3D Realms developed Ion Fury is available on Switch. And what's cool about this game is it's made in the Build engine, which is the same engine they used to make the Duke Nukem 3D game back in the day. And that's pretty wild. I love seeing devs kind of going back to their older designs, and in this case, their old engine, and making something cool with it. Ion Fury. It used to be called Ion Maiden, but it was a little too close to Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden got upset. Well, Iron's legal people got upset.
Neo DC the future.
Yeah, which is fun because I think Duke Nukem 3D took place in DC, or at least there was a DC level. It's cool, man. Like classic first-person shooters, or at least retro kind of stylized ones, I'm all about. And this is like a great one. Apparently, people really like this game.
It's not one to load for me.
They've also got another game, not in the build engine, I don't think. This one's in the Quake 1 tech. But the other game that same company has, the 3D Realms as a publisher, they're putting out a game called Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. And so that also looks very, very cool. I am super excited for Wrath. It's not out yet. It comes out, according to this, it's been out for a while, but that was the early access, so I'm not sure when it's coming out. I thought it was this year. But Wrath, Aeon of Ruin looks really good. And for whatever reason, like 3D Realms is kicking ass right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, this game actually looks really fun.
What, Wrath?
Ion Fury. I didn't...
Yeah.
All right, and you said Wrath is what?
Wrath, Aeon of Ruin? That's another... That's in the same idea, right? Like, they take an old engine and make a new game with it. But, like, there for a while, 3D Realms is putting out some kind of trash. Like, oddly enough, the same character of Ion Fury, I believe, is the same character they used in Bombshell. And Bombshell sucks. Like, people did not like Bombshell at all.
Ooh. These trailers, things just don't want to load up right now. Weird. But it's looking good.
Yeah, man. I have both those games put on my wish list. I believe the story behind Wrath is it's made by a guy who used to just mod Quake a lot. And he'd been working on Wrath anyways. And then 3D Realms are like, why don't y'all just come over here and we'll help you do it and like make it really, really cool. And so he's like, sick. And that's how it happened.
Sure. Sounds great.
The long and short of it anyways. But I don't know, man. 3D Realms is like, they weren't doing nothing. And now they're doing something like really good. I'm really into it.
Yeah, no, this is the type of game that's super up our alley either way.
Mm-hmm. Have you got to do many retro shooters, or is that just a me thing?
You mostly. I've done some. I've done more than I can remember. I just don't know what they were because, I was playing stuff before I understood how to play a game.
Right. And the way that I've kind of approached this genre is new, and a lot of that is spurned on by Dusk. Dusk is a very classic retro-inspired shooter, very similar to Quake. And so once I understood that I really like that style of game, I started downloading the original Quakes and messing around with those. And I downloaded the original Doom. I played the Sigil levels that John Romero put out. So even though I'm not ingrained into that community that's been making content since the early 90s, I'm coming in as a new person and just experiencing that ideology almost of game design. I like it.
Yeah, no, I remember watching you play some at Dusk, and it was fucking cool to watch.
Dude, and Dusk is sick.
I was watching people play, what was the next one they did?
A Medieval.
I was watching a lot of a Medieval play, especially in GDQ.
Yeah, dude, that one's so funny, because, the developers are on there, and they didn't tell them all the tricks they knew, and so the runner would do a trick, and the developers would be like, what?
I just remember Dave being like, oh, damn it. He's like, why didn't I know about that?
He's like, fuck cancer. And they're like, wait, Dave, no, you can't say fuck on the stream. He's like, heck cancer or screw cancer.
Yeah.
And then it was so awkward because he'd say screw cancer in the bum and everybody would be like, we're never coming back, are we?
I think he mentioned at some point, he was like, I've said so many bad things. He's like, I'm going to pay them something for saying bad things. He's like, but it's not going to stop me. He's like, I'm going to keep doing it. He was like, just somebody keep a tally.
Those folks are making some of the coolest stuff on Steam right now. They just put out a patch, I think, a day or two ago for Maximum Action, So if you're unfamiliar, New Blood Interactive is fucking cool. There's just a bunch of cool guys and gals making some really neat stuff.
They are hilarious.
I really, really like everything about what New Blood is doing. And they've got some games that like aren't nearly as popular that are also in their category, so to speak. Oh, I haven't played hardly any of Medieval. I thought I played more of that. Anyways, so they're getting ready to do this game called Faith, which is like an Atari style horror game. And they've got Gloomwood. Yeah, I always get it mixed up with something else. And so Gloomwood is a thief style game where it's like a systemic kind of system. But they just recently have been adding more stuff to Maximum Action, and that is very much a like first person neon Max Payne style of game. It's all pretty cool. They've got some great designs, some really talented folks. One of their lead designers, not Oshri, but Dave, whatever his name is. I think his name is Dusk Dave on Twitter. But they're all the time just like tinkering with stuff. And like following these folks on Twitter is really fun because they're always like, hey, I did this really stupid thing. David's, oh gosh, Zemansky? I don't know. He's got some like really cool, like side smaller horror projects that are really neat. And I haven't played any of them, but that is also like a cool person to follow.
Oh yeah, there's some of that Maximum Action stuff.
Yeah, Maximum Action is wild.
It looks weird.
Yeah. Now, when I first played it, it was kind of rough because they only had like 2 or 3 levels and all of the controls weren't quite there yet. But that game has gotten a lot of patches here recently, and so I really want to sit down and just like go through it again.
David Zemansky. Don't know why I'm not following that guy.
Dusk Dev is his name. He's real cool. I'm excited to see whatever horror game he's working on.
Yeah, it looks
because I tell you what, in Dusk there's an enemy called like the Wendigos or something, and when they're invisible, but whenever they show up, they make this like sharp noise that's basically a jump scare noise from the films, and it is terrifying how they set those guys up because you'll just hear them like running and grunting, and you're like, what? And you like shoot or swing your sword or whatever and maybe hit one and then it'll show up and be like, nah! It's fun, dude. Dusk is great. I have an essay on that on our website and on our YouTube. Super fun. One last game that's coming out this month is a game called Maneater. This is a shark simulator with RPG elements made by the same people that did Killing Floor, so Tripwire Interactive. I've seen footage of it. I haven't played it. It's coming out soon. We got a review opportunity for Marooners Rock, but I don't know who's going to end up doing that.
And that's the shark. You're playing as the shark eating people.
Yeah, leveling up as you eat things.
Yeah,
I
was watching some of the stuff about it, and it was real weird looking.
It's like Grand Theft Shark.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Just climbing in the back of a boat. No, getting pulled in the back of a boat.
Getting your nom on. It looks like a fun game. I don't know how well it will be built, and maybe it won't matter. Like, maybe it'll just be super fun to the point, like, if it's a little rough around the edges, who cares?
I could get down with that.
Yeah. We don't get shark games very often. I'm into the idea.
I just want to see this shark eat this dude's head.
Let's make it happen. Yep, there goes one. So for anybody unaware, we do stream these episodes on Twitch, which we haven't put them on the SoundCloud in a while, but we will. That's coming, I promise.
Yeah, one day there'll just be a backlog of a bunch of stuff that's not really relevant anymore, but it'll be there.
It'll be there. Fun listening, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
That's why these specials I end up putting more energy into, because they're like a little more evergreen. But I love our little weekly live show. I think it's fun. But Maneater. I don't know how it's going to play or if it's good or any of that, but man, it looks interesting.
Just munching shit down. Damn.
Yeah. And so that's dropping May, like the last week of May or something.
Huh.
coming to the Epic Game Store, and that drops on May 22, so May 22nd. I don't know if it's coming to anything else off the top of my head. It's going to be available on Steam eventually. Yeah, eventually it'll be on Steam. They're doing the Epic Store release first. It is eventually coming to Xbox One. And, okay, so it'll release on Xbox One, Epic Game Store. I'm just not, like, finding their main website.
What is it again?
I was just looking to see what platforms it was coming to. Tripwire. Look at the games. Look at the Manita. They're also doing Chivalry, a sequel to it, I think.
Really? I bet that will sell so much fucking game. Cause
I mean, maybe.
There's so many people playing Chivalry before. It was crazy.
Well, everybody kind of switched to that Mordhau game or whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ended up playing things like, what was that one that Ubisoft made? For Honor. That was kind of in that same vein.
I really liked For Honor to an extent, but I just couldn't keep getting into it.
I hear it got better over time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It definitely got better looking and feeling, but...
So I think this is coming to all platforms on the 22nd, because they also have listed the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Switch, as well as the Epic Game Store. So I imagine it's coming to Switch around that time, but I don't know for certain. I feel like it's just going to be the Epic Store and Xbox. I don't know. Either way, those are some games hitting in May. The last kind of major before the big major is we did get a trailer for Ghost of Tsushima. That game looks cool. I didn't even watch the trailer. I'm just like, yep, samurai eyes. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm real excited about it. It just looks so fun.
Still some good stuff coming to the PS4 and into the PS5, which apparently they still have planned for this holiday. Both Xbox and Sony have said again that they're going to put it out this holiday. What that looks like, we don't know. Supposedly, like, neither of them will give out a price because they're waiting for the other one to give out a price. So it's like this Western standoff kind of situation. Like, no, you put it out. No, you put it out. But with all the tech we saw that's coming to the PS5, we can assume that both consoles are going to be pretty expensive. Now, last week we talked a lot about the Xbox and how I was pretty excited about the Xbox as a platform because of all the different services. But with the sheer horsepower and capability that the PS5 is going to have, software side, I'm still like in the PS5 camp of like, that's what I'm getting first.
Yeah,
we got a trailer for Unreal Engine 5. Woo!
We did.
It's spicy. Now, Joe would be able to kind of put a interesting lamp on this because he's the animator. But what's interesting to me is in this trailer, there's a scene where she looks with all the statues, right? And the guy talking over the video is like, oh, and guess what? All of these statues are of the same quality and fidelity throughout this entire room, and there's hundreds of them in this room.
That's a lot.
So the animator and the modeler doesn't have to make like scaled down versions the farther you get. They can all be the same copy pasted thing. And, like, put some moss here, you know. It would like completely change the way those scenes are made.
Yeah, it could theoretically make them be made much faster.
Yeah. So higher fidelity, film quality level of lighting and stuff. Like, it's going to be good. Did you see that they're giving indies their first $1 million without royalty?
They're doing what?
So if you're an indie developer using Unreal 5, your first $1 million that you make, there's no royalties you have to pay to Unreal for using Unreal.
That's because Epic's cool as fuck, man.
It's because they got the money.
They have
so much money.
They have got so much
money.
They'll let your kids rob you blind. Mom, can I have $5? Cool. Thanks, Mom. Spent 500 on Fortnite. See you later.
Whew. And apparently they'll just spend Fortnite money without you even playing Fortnite, because my wife, somebody like logged into her Nintendo account, because Nintendo had a big leak recently. Change your password.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So Epic is going to be doing some cool stuff as per usual. The Unreal Engine 5 looks freaking sick. And the footage that they showed, they claimed was captured running on a PS5. And that's really impressive for a console.
Yeah.
Are you still in the PS5 camp? Like, is that the thing that you're probably going to get by the end of the year, if you can?
Maybe. I might just go into the computer camp.
Yeah, more PC.
Yeah, because I
just like PC as a platform to a point. Like, my favorite thing about consoles is you stick in a game and it just plays. Usually. Nowadays, it's like, oh, you gotta download 15 different patches. But, like, you don't have to go in and fiddle with settings like, oh, I would just loaded up that Ghost Runner demo and I had really bad screen tearing. Like, any console, that wouldn't be an issue. Because it would just detect what your settings are and go from there. That's my problem with PC. You're always fiddling with shit. You're never actually playing anything. When you're playing, it's great. I love mouse and keyboard for shooters, man. It's my preferred way to play any shooter from here on out.
Yeah.
But oof.
But, well, with the if your game is smart, they've come with make the settings the best for my PC. Make it the best for what I have. You just click once and you're good to go. But then you have me.
That works.
Yeah, and then for like me, I like to fiddle with things until I get it exactly where I want it. Which is a little different from other people, because I like either like more gamma or like a color change.
Well, you've always been kind of a tinkerer anyways.
Yeah. So I like those things, but that's why. I mean, that, and I have the ability to do whatever we want on a PCs, but we're looking at it. It's nothing that's like super high on the radar, though.
I saw the Unreal trailer, and of course I was just like, ooh, but like, what impressed me more was the fact that they're doing that thing for indies with Epic, and the fact that this could change how workflow just kind of works in general for a game developer. And I think that's where I'm most excited about. Like, can we make games more effectively and more intelligently? That way our workers are not working themselves to the bones and just losing pieces of their soul every time they ship a game. Like, that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited for both AAA developers and indie developers to all kind of be on the same playing field and not have to worry about all these additional things that just like drive them insane.
Exactly. You know what? I had a weird thought that is not necessarily anything to do with what we're talking about, but
okay.
It's like, man, why can't like Kojima and Sweeney like pair up on a game?
Sweeney. Oh, Tim Sweeney.
Like an epic Kojima.
I mean,
that's a lot of horsepower behind a crazy ass mind with complicated things.
I would almost bet money that Kojima's been working on a PS5 game for a while now.
Oh, I would bet. If not, he's laid the groundwork to just step in and start doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he's been working on his movie that he keeps talking about making in a game engine. Yeah,
they've talked about wanting to do films. Not just Kojima, but like people that just work for Kojima at that studio. Some of them have been hinting at something. And there for a while, Kojima was tweeting a lot about horror and like studying and researching. So I think whatever they're going to do next might be horror.
I hope so, because PT was scary and fantastic, and I would love to see more.
Yes. That demo really like shocked the world. That was the horror spooky gunshot heard around the gaming world.
Right.
That's still like popping up in our games today.
It was creepy as fuck. The closest thing that I've found to like PT's weird scary level was a horror game called Visage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't as like beautiful looking, but it was still very, very creepy.
Recently there was an expanded version of a game called Infliction that I edited a review for. One of our guys at Marooners Rock played it and said it was phenomenal. And it seemed like it was very much in that, like, exploring a spooky house, uncovering evil, and facing that. And so that game, I hear from, his opinions, was pretty good. He gave it like a 9, I think. He was really impressed with it.
Well, yeah.
There was a dude or a lady that made a PT Unreal thing. PT in Unreal new game. So that developer who basically recreated PT inside of the Unreal Engine is making something new, I think. Oh, and speaking of the Unreal 5 demo, Dreams players remade it. And that's nuts. Because they did it within like a day or something. It was absolutely bonkers. I wish I could find the article for it, but there is something about it. PT in Unreal. If I can find the designer of that, I can probably find it. Unreal PT. Okay. Radius Gordello.
Ooh. Looks pretty and creepy.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job of recreating it.
Mm-hmm.
I swear that he's working on Backbone? Oh, well, that game's already out. That's a game where you're like a detective raccoon. It's very noir. I'm gonna follow that dude. I swear they were working on something new, but maybe I'm just dumb. Certainly a possibility. I don't know, man. Horror's fun. There's like some really fascinating designs that you can pick out in horror that I think are just fascinating.
Yeah. No, you're very right. And sometimes they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. They're just absolutely gorgeous. Just to scare the shit out of you.
And I'm really looking forward to Scorn. I think that's got a really neat art style. We talked about that last week on the Xbox thing. So that's the H.R. Geiger kind of inspired thing.
Right, and Scorn's been out for a long time as far as like knowledge about it.
Playable build. There was a playable, like, it wasn't supposed to be indicative of the final design, but they had like, here's what we could do. And they put out that to like Let's Players and stuff in 2016, 2017. Because I remember seeing a PewDiePie video about it.
Yeah, and it's changed a lot since then. I was watching stuff on it last night, actually.
Yeah, Scorn looks pretty sick. Other than that, like, I mean, it's just a fun time again. I'm still not super confident when Sony and Microsoft go, we're going to have these consoles out, because to me, that just means they're going to be really freaking expensive, or B, they're going to be really scarce.
Yeah.
So trying to get one might be an exercise in frustration.
And then you'll have people scalping like they've been doing with the Switches.
Yeah, Switches are being scalped. And maybe we'll get some sort of upgraded design for the Switch.
Yeah, I would love to see everybody like scalping the shit out of it right now, like buying up the stockpile, and then Nintendo be like, "Thanks for cleaning out my warehouse. Here's the new editions, guys. Same price."
Yeah. Same price, way better. F you.
Yeah, no, I would love to see that. Be like, we doubled the battery life. Now there's guaranteed no joystick drift.
Yeah.
On these.
So I just fixed joystick drift today. Like, right before this podcast, I tore apart my Joy-Con. I stripped 2 screws, so I've just got a screw sticking out of the back of this thing. But, like, it works now, kind of. I guess. I haven't played anything with it, but it seems to be working. I, like, calibrated it and everything. But I am in the market of, like, I probably should get a new Switch right now, but I'm waiting. Because I have a feeling that as soon as I do, they're going to be like, here's the new model. It also plays 3DS games.
Ugh, I know, right?
I hope so. I haven't touched my 3DS since this thing came out. I'm like, well, this is junk. That's not true. There's some great games on the 3DS. But I guess, I mean, there's some, like, cool, smaller releases coming out. The big ones are going to be things like, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, Cyberpunk. But right now is a great time to dive into your indie catalogs, and a lot of those are on sale right now. All platforms, too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to that actually. I'm really surprised because I'm normally into whatever indies you've been finding for me, and then since I've been
Mhm.
into them more, I've been finding more on my own, which has been making me pretty excited.
Yeah,
So, like,
there's some good stuff out there.
I've got a bunch of silly little shit, like Super Amazing Wagon Adventure. It's probably one of my favorite finds with
Did you
Travis.
did that come to Switch? Did you play it on Switch?
You know what? I have no idea. Let's Google right now. Super Amazing Wagon.
I just bought a game on a whim yesterday called Star Horizon because it looked like Star Fox. And so I've always wanted to see like somebody do a really cool Star Fox. There's another game that I can't remember right now that's like a low poly, super stylized thing. But this is just a very simple like $7 Star Fox game. And so I'm not really impressed with it yet, but like it was $7. I picked it up.
Super Amazing Wagon Adventure is on Steam and 360.
Somebody should port that to Switch. That's fun times. Let's get them on the phone. Forever Classic will publish it.
Yeah, no, the one thing that I want to play some more of is fucking Tokyo Jungle.
Yeah. Oh God, I love Tokyo Jungle.
Right?
I swear they were doing a sequel.
I'm Googling through some stuff right now because I would love to see it.
I swear, yeah, back in 2018, the designer was maybe teasing about a sequel. Man, I would be into that. That game is fucking weird.
It is, but it's fun.
Is that on PC? Or is that a PlayStation thing?
It's only PlayStations, PS3, PS Vita.
Oh, Vita, though. I could play it on Vita.
You could. I wish it would come to other things because I think you can play it on PS4 with the PS Now thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Tokyo Jungle is weird. So, for anybody who's no idea what we're talking about, Tokyo Jungle is basically like a survival game, but you play as the animals, and so you start breeding and like making these little herds. But you start out as like a Pomeranian or some shit, and you steadily unlock new creatures, including like a raptor or a person. It's
or a
this
deer.
Weird, yeah, or a deer. Like it's a weird little game, but man, it's really addictive.
Yeah, it's so good and it's so hard. There's a freaking screen here of where somebody's a cow being chased by lions.
Yeah.
Oh.
We played that drunk, and it was like the best drunk game ever.
Yes. It was so fun. And it's so hard.
You just never know.
Especially since your first animal you have is a Pomeranian. Like, good luck.
Yeah. So hopefully now that I just bought this thing that'll allow me to maybe get more power to my capture card, and I'm thinking that'll fix a lot of my issues with the connecting to the console. And so hopefully in the next week or so, you'll see my face more on stream, aside from the actual podcast episodes. And I don't know if people want to watch Persona 5 or not, but I might just stream it, and if people don't come, I just won't. Because I need to finish it.
Yeah.
The game's long. It's like having another relationship. It's so much time.
So there's a Tokyo Jungle mobile. But it is not the Tokyo Jungle that we know and love. It's a grid-based game. But it's the same animal concept. It looks really, really weird. Like, we were talking about weird in a good way. I'm talking, like, weird and, like, I don't know why somebody did that.
Why, though? There's so many games I have on my Steam list that I want to sit down and play. I just don't have the time for it.
I'm slowly adding. I just added all the old retro Tomb Raiders. The new
I bought a
Terraria.
bunch of those.
The new Terraria update's out, so I kind of want to play Terraria again. I never did beat Plantera. Like, I stopped in there because it was the same thing over and over and over, and I got bored of it.
Oh, yeah?
But, and then, of course, Starbound came out, and it was just, I could infinitely go to any other world, and it was brand new.
Yo, Starbound is like, that's another game that I would definitely spend a lot of time in that I just can't.
Right? I would love to play more of it.
Yeah, it's really good. They put that on the Switch, and we might have some problems.
They
Cyber
really
Classic
should.
just
Though.
runs into the ground. And like Halo 2 just came out to the Master Chief Collection. I believe Halo 3 is available as well. Like,
I just
so many
picked up
things.
Hades though. I did do that.
Oh,
Because I got one of the free games from the Epic Store, and they gave me a $10 coupon, so it was on sale for $19 on the Epic Store right now. So I got it $10 off, so I got it for $9.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
I'm gonna open my Epic Store to see if there's some freebies in there. GTA 5's are free. I might as well claim that.
Yeah, that's what I did. I claimed it, and it gave me a $10 coupon off of whatever I purchased next. So
Oh, sick.
I was like, I'll look at what's there, and if especially if they're doing a sale and this coupon will go on it. A lot of times that won't happen, but I'll try it anyway, and it did. I was like, sold.
Ooh, to wrap us up, here's something that might make for an interesting stream, Zach. I just haven't bought it because it's full price again. Dark Souls 3 now has crowd control.
I saw that. I was watching somebody play it with like randomized.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know much about the game, but they kept fighting the knight that turned into the giant worm dragon thing.
Oh, those things suck. I don't like those at all.
He had to fight it like twice.
Oh no!
So he's just boss fight with like no ballista help. It's just like good luck, guy.
No, the deluxe edition. Like I have Dark Souls 3 twice. Like I have the standard and then I have the deluxe because I did a review for it back when it came out. And I bought it the first one day one, right? Because I actually really like Dark Souls. I'm just not very good at them. But crowd control is really cool because people can use bits to make things happen on somebody's stream. And it's just really, really cool. Yo, this is weird. There's like a really strange trailer that they've cut on Steam.
For what? Dark Souls?
It's like a Grindhouse film trailer. That's bizarre.
For Dark Souls
like
3.
Yeah, if you just go to Dark Souls 3 on Steam, there's a Grindhouse thing. That's so strange. It's like really not the tone that game captures. There's a normal trailer next to it, but like, man, that is odd. Huh. But yeah, so Dark Souls both 1 and 3 now work for crowd control, and that's fucking cool. I love the Warp World guys and gals. They're like killing it.
Yeah, no, they're so good. They're so positive about everything they're doing too.
Yeah, especially with like tournament change.
Yeah, did you I was reading something. Somebody like emailed the shit out of Jakku, and he was like, "This is not like an email that gets checked like that."
Oh yeah.
He like wrote him back and was like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on." He's like, "I've withdrew the support that you gave us and refunded it to you." He's like, let's not do this again." And he's like, "Refund."
Like, I don't need your dumbassery. Take your money back.
Yeah. At the end of it, he was like, "Oh, and refunds take 5 to 7 business days."
Oh, mic drop. Just walk away.
Yeah, I was like,
Speaking
oh wow.
of Jakku, I sent him an email and he didn't get back to me. And he said he would get back to emails for the press. So dang it, Jakku. That's fine. I just sent him a data kind of questionnaire about Turnip Exchange so we could do a write-up on it. But like, shit changes daily for that site. So I totally understand that they're like, they can't just give me solid data because it's all the time changing.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at what it looks like today. I'm sure it looks wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great service. I don't even have turnips, I don't think, yet in Animal Crossing, or at least I never check.
You only get them Sunday morning before noon. 8 a.m. to noon is the only time that you can get turnips.
Yeah, and I'm never awake at that time.
And if you don't sell them by the following Sunday, they rot.
I am aware of that. Like, I know the system, I just haven't done it.
All right. Okay, so this doesn't look like it's changed too much from the other day. So it looks like they're settling on a pretty solid UI.
A lot of it, too, was they were doing... Roll the ball.
Oh, the weird verify thing?
Oh, the CAPTCHA? That's so strange. What do you mean my username's not long enough? What the... I hate logging into the Epic thing. I never remember what my password is. I only log in once a month.
Mine just auto logs me.
It never does that for me. It's so irritating.
But I have like my 2-factor authentication set up, and it's just set up through my one here at the house, so it'll go in. But if I try to do it from anywhere else, it like pings like 100 things.
Right.
Like, hey, are these yours? Are these yours? Are these yours?
Oh, they sent it to my email. I was like, what? Welcome to Forever Classic Podcast, where I log into my Epic.
Right. While we look at turnips.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still having a fun time with games. Like, I haven't played very many this week because work has been kind of exhausting, but, like, I still just love games, man. I moved the PlayStation into the office, so that was my intention, was to just hook up the capture card to it so I could do some PS4 stuffs. Hopefully that'll include some Ashen.
Yes.
I gotta play a bunch of Fighting Herds, and then Persona is, like, my big one.
Yeah, I've been playing... What I've been playing of Ashen, I just am lost. I just keep wandering, and I'm like,
So you got to go back to it recently?
Yeah, I just picked it up and played it the other night for a couple hours, and I knew like what my controls and stuff were, and I knew where that one hard-ass dungeon we kept dying in was, but I just kept running out to do other things, and just spent a lot of the time just like wandering. So I ended up just kind of like running around and picking up items. But getting the feel for it again, combat was fine. I don't think I died.
Yeah, so far I've really enjoying that game. I just haven't had the gumption to get back into it because it is kind of a dense Souls-like.
Right. I'm getting a kick out of how the video thing looks underneath now. Because each instance is reading a slightly older instance.
Oh.
so you can watch my like active hand move, and then on the screen move, and then the last thing I did, and the thing before that, and the thing before that.
That's interesting. I kind of like this look. Maybe this is what we'll just stick with. I'm just waiting for my hands to go up here in a second.
Yep.
Come on, stream.
You're on to your third one. Nope, getting ready for your fourth one. We're just overly amused by our video.
Yeah. Technology's fun.
It really is.
But yeah, I see where you can get that free $10 now on the Epic Store. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll go towards anything. So if there's something full price that you just wanted to knock the price off on, or something cheap that you wanted to get for way cheaper. Yeah, so I grabbed Hades because I've been wanting to play it, and I just haven't, and I figured if it was going to go down, because it's always stayed right in that like $20 range, so taking it down to 10 was like, you can do that.
Oh, the thing about Maneater, too, is it's only a $40 game, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that they're releasing games under $50 more frequently now.
Yeah, you got to get stuff fairly cheap. I mean, I could get Assassin's Creed Origins for $5, I guess, if I wanted to. I kind of want to play that because it's like Egypt. I think Egypt is neat.
Yeah, a lot of people were really happy with Origins and Odyssey stuff. And I keep hearing counter arguments for Valhalla because they don't feel like it's moving it differently as much. But
yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed has always been fairly stagnant as far as the main idea. And I never really liked the main idea, so I don't know if I would even like the new one.
Well, like I said, I don't know what's going on in the meta narrative, and that's the only thing that really interests me.
Yeah, that was what it was tying it together for me. That's why I played through most of Assassin's Creed 2 and the subsequent sequels. Those are the ones that are actually like good, is Assassin's Creed 2 and the other 3 or whatever.
Right.
But I think they just dropped that narrative entirely. Or at least if they did anything with it, I'm not aware of it. Ooh, you can get the Tetris effect. Tetris effect is supposed to be crazy.
Really?
Yeah, dude. That's supposed to be like one of the highest rated PSVR games ever.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like super good.
I could get down with that.
Right? I fuck with that. I can fuck with that.
I fucks with that.
Vampire for $5, Slime Rancher for freezies. Like, there's some cool stuff here. Uno, $2.99.
Dude, I've been watching a lot of streamers play Uno, but I think they're playing it because they get mad at games that they're playing, and they purposely like change to Uno just to be
something different.
Well, no, I think they're doing it just kind of be assholes about it. I think most of it's been directed towards like Fortnite and Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. I guess that kind of does it for today's stream. Is there anything else we want to tell these lovely people?
I'm almost done with Final Fantasy VII.
Ooh.
I just
Can't
got to
wait to talk about that.
Yeah, I know. I just got to get through like the actual part of the action now, towards the end.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I just got to, get some real time for that.
Last chapter's tough, but ooh, is it cool? In my opinion, I liked it. Not everybody did, but I thought it was cool. All right, man. Well, if that does it, that does it. Thank you all for listening to the Forever Classic podcast. It's always a pleasure. And if you did want to send us an email, you can send it to the foreverclassicpodcast@gmail.com. All of our stuff is available on foreverclassicgames.com. And you can find me on Twitter real easily at AC McCumbers. Now, Zach, where might they find you, my friend?
I am Exquisite Liar on everything, and then I'm just Exquisite_Liar on Twitter.
Hell yeah. And next time, we'll talk about some more games. If I had to guess.
Probably.
It'll probably be about games. So, again, thanks, everybody. Stay cool. And